Playmakers, how's it going? This is Coach Wood. Hopefully all is well on this beautiful Halloween day. Happy Halloween to you guys. I've got older kids now. I think this is going to be their last year doing the Halloween thing, but I know some of you guys that may watch have younger kids, or maybe you're a young person yourself that's watching and's got a big night planned tonight. So happy Halloween to you guys. Make sure you be safe and don't eat too much candy. Don't eat too much candy. I'll probably be looking in my kids' bag this evening and seeing what they got. Take a couple of pieces for myself. A little dad tax. But hopefully all is well with you guys. You are officially on the Move with Coach. On the Move with Coach is our weekly segment, you guys, where we talk football. I get my workout in, I get my steps in, and we discuss some of the topics that are important and trending in the football world. And I definitely want some of you guys' feedback, some of you guys' opinions. If there's topics we're not covering that you would love to talk about, Coach Wood would love to discuss it with you, okay? So help us build this football community and help us do some big things, okay? So today, got a very interesting topic to talk about. And I was recently listening to the great Mel Kiper. Mel Kiper, longtime NFL Draft Analyst, the OG in the game. They've got a bunch of young guys now that help out Mel and that are some alternatives to Mel, but Mel is the OG. He's the OG NFL guru, draft guru. So I was listening to Mel Kiper, and he was talking about, and also if you haven't already, I don't know why you haven't, but if you haven't already, please make sure that you like, subscribe, and share it, and share the Before You Go Pro YouTube channel. So I'm listening to Mel Kiper, you guys, and I want to hear your opinion. But he listed a few quarterbacks. He listed a few college quarterbacks that he felt should go back to college, should not enter the draft, and should go back to college. And, a couple of these kids are kind of household names in college football. You guys see some of the Halloween stuff that people have in our neighborhood getting ready for tonight. But a couple of these kids are household names, kids that have already made millions through NIL and stand to make a lot more money if they go into the NFL draft. But Mel Kiper had some pretty stern opinions on what he thinks as far as an NFL draft quarterback looks like and whether or not some of these kids are ready. And I must admit, you guys, it's been unfortunate, but there's been some talented young quarterbacks in the NFL that have just got chewed up and spit out. You look at what Bryce Young is going through with Carolina. You look at Cody Pickett, not Cody Pickett, but the kid from Pittsburgh that went to the Pittsburgh Steelers. He got put on the bench real quick. He's with the Eagles now. And then you look at Anthony Richardson, who we just talked about, So a lot of these young quarterbacks are having problems playing early in the NFL. And what Mel Kiper was talking about is the same thing that's taking place at the highest level of college football, is that they're no longer developing kids. They're no longer developing quarterbacks. So you either can sink or you swim. And if you sink, then they got to go on to the next one. So that's what it is at the NFL for the quarterbacks. That's what it is in college right now at the highest level, is nobody has time to develop anymore. The coaches are making too much. There's too much pressure on everybody. So if you can't swim, then they got to go on to the next, And what happens is, and this is what Mel said, is a lot of these kids mentally get messed up and they never come back from it. They never come back from it. So he's saying, stay in school, stay in school. And there's a couple of quarterbacks that he mentioned he thought should stay in school. And I want you to tell me what you think.
Okay. So another year, I would say to any college quarterback, unless you're the number one pick and you're ready mentally and physically and you've done enough and 1 year is not enough, stay as long as you can. Peyton did it. Eli did it. Stay as long as you can because they're not developing quarterbacks in the NFL. You cannot make progress if you're ruined mentally and physically by criticism. Okay? You cannot make progress if somebody's going to, once you lose your confidence as a young quarterback, you're done. You're done. And I see that happening with young quarterbacks in the NFL. Confidence is gone.
One of them is Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers at Texas. Obviously, Quinn, top quarterback coming out of high school, goes with Sarkisian, which is a offensive-minded coach, and has been doing great. Quinn has been doing great. He's made millions of dollars in Austin, Texas. And at the beginning of the season, you guys, many thought that Quinn had an opportunity at a Heisman and had an opportunity to maybe be a top 10 pick. But things have soured a little bit with production, with his injury. Everybody still has the Georgia game in mind, which definitely wasn't all his fault. So now Mel is saying that guys like Quinn Ewers need to go back to school. Now, a lot of Texas fans, there'd be some that would be glad to hear that, and there'd be some in the Manning camp that might not be so glad to hear that. So if Quinn Ewers did go back to Texas, or back to college, I don't know if it would be Texas. I don't know if it would be Texas. Maybe he would want to go to another blue blood that needs a quarterback bad. And has a ton of money, a la Michigan. I'm sure Michigan would be interested in talking to Quinn Ewers. So what do you guys think? Maybe there's some Longhorn fans out there, some Texas people. You know, this is a Texas kid. Does he need to come back? Does he need to go back to college? Or do you think Quinn Ewers has done enough in college that he needs to go on to the NFL? Sometimes it's not about what you're gonna make. These kids are already making money. Sometimes it's not about what you're gonna make. It's about your development and you just feeling like you've accomplished what you need to accomplish in college. And there's nothing there left for you, so you need to go. And it's not even so much about where you get drafted. You just need to go experience a new challenge. So do you guys think, we're on the move with Coach, and I'm asking the audience, I need your word. Do you think Quinn Ewers at Texas should stay in college? If he does stay in college, do you think he should go back to Texas? Or do you think maybe he should try another university? I'd be very interested to hear you guys' opinion on that. And then the other quarterback that this really holds true for, possibly, and another household name, you know, in the college football world, and Mel shouted him out specifically. He shouted out Drew Aller too from Penn State, but Mel shouted out Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe from Alabama. He's saying he needs to come back. You know, Jalen was the fourth person in the Heisman running last year as a sophomore. You know, has had some highs and lows. He had the Georgia game, which was phenomenal this year as a junior. But Mel said he's not ready for the NFL. Jalen Milroe is not ready to be an NFL quarterback. If he comes, he's probably going to get chewed up and spit out like some of these other quarterbacks that we've seen recently that still need to develop. So what do you guys think? I know there's a lot of Alabama fans. Tuscaloosa would love to have Jalen Milroe back. Do you think he should come on back to college? Or do you think, hey, Jalen's done all he's need to do. He's played in the big games. He's made big money. He's showcased himself on the biggest stage, and we all know he's a dog. He's ready. He needs to go off to the NFL. What's your thoughts? What's your opinion? In Mel's opinion, he's saying, hey, if you're not going to be first overall pick, maybe top 3, then you need to go back to college as a quarterback. But what's your opinion? Quinn Ewers, Jalen Milroe, do they both need to go back to college? Does just one of them need to go back to college? What does the best football audience on YouTube believe? I need to hear from you guys. So help me out. Once again, you're on the move with Coach. I'm getting my steps in, baby. Get my win better. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Help us build this community. The last thing I'm going to talk about, you guys, is the transfer portal. We work with student athletes. We've got a lot of kids that are reaching out saying that they want to go in the transfer portal. And these kids have only been there a semester, so the transfer portal is definitely a thing, but I'm wondering if it's hurting the resilience of our athletes, if it's hurting the grit of our athletes and the determination. There was a point in time I wanted to leave Colorado after my junior year, and my dad said, nope, you started it, you finish it. That last year, I met my wife, and we won a Big 12 championship in 2001. So I'm wondering, and I want you guys to tell me, does the transfer portal hurt the resilience and the grit of today's student athletes? Is it too easy? Is it too easy to move on to greener pastures, or what we may think is greener pastures? You guys let me know, but I really worry about that right now. Now, the athletes that are with our program, we work with them until they hang up their cleats. So, when they go off to college, we are still there for them to support them if they do need a change of scenery. But we also consult with them, we talk with them, we make sure it's the right decision. A lot of kids jump in the portal and they don't talk to anybody. They lost a spot on the depth chart, or the coach pissed them off. They don't talk to anybody, and they just jump in the portal, and they don't even know where they're going next. We don't move that way. We want to make sure that you got some options. We want to make sure that we're thinking through the decision, because sometimes we make a move and we can't get back what we lost, and what we lost may have been better. So I'm really wondering, you guys, once again, I won a Big 12 championship, and I met my wife, my soulmate, because I gritted it out. I stuck it out. And I didn't want to at the time. My father made me stay. He told me I had to stay. So really wondering what you guys think. Does the transfer portal hurt the resilience of today's athletes? Does it hurt the grit of today's athletes, the backbone of today's athletes? You guys let me know. Last but not least, we have officially kicked off our 2025 recruiting efforts, you guys. So if you are a high school or a junior college football player, or maybe a high school or junior college football player somewhere in the country that wants to play in college, that has grades, that has some grit, that has some work ethic, then we would love to at least give them a free film evaluation where they know what level of football they can play at and that they should be pursuing. If they want recruiting support, we would love to help you, because we just kicked off our 2025 recruiting package. We have a database. You guys are probably seeing that on the screen. We only let 10 athletes in at each position, so this is exclusive. 17 years in the recruiting business. We've got athletes playing all over the country. If you know someone that needs help, please make sure you reach out. You can hit us in the comments section. You can go to beforeyougopro.com, send us a message, sign up for a free call and evaluation. But it's time. If you're a high school or junior college football player and you don't have what you want already, we're hitting November, baby, and it's recruiting time. So we would love to help you out. So, hey, that's it. Let me know. Do you think Ewers and Milroe should come back to college? Also, do you think the transfer portal is hurting the resiliency and the grit of today's athletes? We love you. I'm Coach Wood. We'll see you at the top.